Hey everybody, welcome. This is how we do it. It's Friday. Friday, y'all. Friday, y'all. What's going on, good people? What? Listen. Hey, everybody, to our replay viewers. We appreciate you taking the time to be here. Okay. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Looking forward to a great conversation. As always, it is Fiery Friday. I'm super excited. I'm Tisha Marie Johnson, creator of Your Love of a Lifetime, otherwise known as Coach T. I'm here. It's Fiery Friday. We having these quarantine conversations. I'm here with the man himself, Coach Jay. So we're going to get this conversation started in just a minute. But listen, I need you to invite somebody to the party. I need you to say hello. I need you to share this broadcast, whether you're tuning in on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube. We out here. We all over the world. So wherever you are, go ahead and share the broadcast. Say hello so we can say hello back. And we're ready to have this conversation tonight. So Coach Jay, introduce yourself and we go get the party started.
Well, as always, I am him, he is I. I will always and forever will be your friend, your brother, your neighbor down the street, just a very good guy to know. I am Coach Jay Hart. Greetings to everybody tonight, all our first time viewers. Please let us know that this is your first time. We definitely want to shout you out. To some of the ones that do not know, we can't see everybody's name. It just says Facebook user. So if you know you didn't sign in to the StreamYard link and everything, and you're on Facebook, please let us know your name so we can definitely shout your name out. We want to say thank you, thank you. You could have been anywhere else doing something else with somebody else, but we are glad and elated that you stopped by on this Fiery Friday with me and Coach T. This is how we do it. This is Fiery Friday. That's just it.
Ooh, 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 ooh. See, I wanted to come out all hype. He was like, no, just chill. Just chill. Anyway, I'm super. The preacher. The
I
preacher.
know Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah. Blessed
Mm-hmm.
assurance.
And Jesus is yours.
I won't have to take some sacraments when
You
this is
know what?
over.
Anyway. Anyway, listen, we have been having an incredible time. Listen, I actually opened it up because there was an interesting conversation. Hey, Dana, there was interesting conversation going on in the group today. I put up two posts. I said, ladies, what's the most irritating thing about a man? And then it was fellas. Well, actually, I put the fellas up first. Fellas, what's the most irritating thing about a woman? And so the fellas, they look quiet in the group. Shout out to For the Lover in You, our Facebook group. If you haven't joined, go to bit.ly/Lover in You group so you can be a part of it. It is a hype group. Very interesting dialogue. So we were having this conversation, and I was mad because Jay was like working today, and they was like throwing me up under the bus. I couldn't get no help, but it's all right. I held it down on my own. If I say so myself, I took a hit for the team, ladies. I represented well, but they beat me up pretty bad over there on the men's post.
You know what? I apologize. I seen it, and then we had one of these life altering, life alterating events happen at work. So it was just like all hands on deck. And when I seen it, I looked. I was like, oh, okay. I guess we'll talk about it tonight. And then I left it alone. Then I left it alone, and then now we here. So hey, sorry.
So we're going to incorporate it in the conversation because we're talking about Mars versus Venus. How come men and women can't get along? Why is it so challenging? Why is it so difficult? If you know anything about the book, it talks about the differences between men and women. And you know that women use more words in the course of a day than men do. Now that's not every man, every woman, but in general, we use our words up, and men, they're kind of, few and far between with theirs unless you have some like people I won't mention. uh I'm just saying, people I won't mention. They use their words up, which is a good thing because when you have a man that's willing to communicate by all means necessary, that's a great thing. So, um, I'm not mad at it, but listen, we were talking about irritating factors. So, the men's complaint, and we're talking about communication tonight. The men's complaint was that we know what they mean when they say women have attitudes. But this is what I say. Don't leave it to me to know what you mean. Tell me what you mean by attitude, which was the question that was posed to me. And I was just, doing my due diligence as being, one of the co-leads of the group, trying to make sure we facilitate effective, mutually beneficial conversation. Listen, if you're just joining us, go ahead, share this broadcast. Somebody needs this conversation tonight. We're talking about effectively communicating between men and women. And so the comment was, and I won't say who said it because they weren't available to say it themselves tonight. But the comment was, most times the woman that's asking, what you mean I got an attitude, is the woman that has an attitude. Now, I don't know because that woman is not me. I don't know. Sure, can we have attitudes? He putting his head down like, um, you disagree with that last statement? Okay. you know, um, that that's the woman who has the biggest attitude is the one who's denying that she knows what that looks like. Right, Sherry, right. She said, and their response was so vague. And that's why the women wanted to get clarity. Listen, we're not facilitating a conversation that is meant to be one-sided. So if fellas of the world, men of the world, if the woman says, tell me, she wants you to tell her. Coach Jack.
I seen you segue your cell phone into this, and then when you threw that line out there, then you sat back and you started snickering and stuff. I knew that was being thrown my way. That's what's up. But most women who say, and I don't know who said it, but I got a pretty good idea of who said it. Um, Shout out to my fellas for holding it down in the group while I was at work. Y'all know who y'all are. I ain't gonna say no names. However, the ones who say, I would have to agree, who say that they don't have an attitude, you are the ones, or don't understand why we say you always got an attitude, are the ones who normally have an attitude, and it's the fact of we don't know how to rightfully communicate with each other. Um, the Mars and Venus dilemma, I'll call it for now, is very true. We all have different love languages, and we all have been taught, raised, and or brought up differently. No two minds are alike, although you may think alike, although you may dress alike, although y'all might have the same sense of humor. somewhere down the line there is a difference between you and your mate, and or you and your friend, and or you and your husband. Um, I think it's a great way, but the greatest way to communicate is just to be open. But we don't know how to take each other's openness, because sometimes our openness can be dismissed sometimes. Um, it also can be a dismissive openness to the point where I'm just going to tell you how I feel, skip how you feel, or skip what you just said. I think that we need to stop talking at each other and start learning how to talk to each other. This was not the original topic of conversation that we talked about. However, I'm going to tie everything up in a little bow and present it to you on tonight. The best way I can. I had to think about like the best way I can.
Well, no, we're talking about the language breakdown. So it still is part of the current conversation. So, how do we fix it? And you talked about it. You have those people who only want to hear what they got to say. They don't want to hear what the other person has to say.
Most
Or
women. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just
or
playing.
I ain't taking nothing personal. I'm good. I look. I know the woman that I am. So, hey, sometimes the conversations are hard. Y'all know I say let's have the hard conversation. Now, so this is what I believe. Tell me, be honest, but you don't have to be brutally honest. You don't have to break me down
Oh
with
yeah.
your honesty.
Oh yeah.
But
Okay.
tell me like the real deal. And this is where I jump on the ladies. Listen, if he's trying to communicate to you, first of all, you don't want to shut that door, because when you shut that door, it's nearly impossible. It's like Fort Knox. It's nearly
Nearly.
impossible.
Nearly.
It's usually
Okay.
impossible to get him to open back up. So you definitely don't want to shut that down. But I realize, we all come from different backgrounds and all of that. But when you bump your head enough times, hello, somebody, you will get tired of that. So at a point, you got to put on, listen, and I'm not telling you something that I'm not doing myself. You got to put on your big girl panties and take it, like seriously, and go meditate on it and get you together, ladies, for real. Now, let me back it on up, fellas. Again, you don't have to be brutal, and certainly don't ignore her plea. So if there's an issue that we need to talk about, okay, I'm willing to give your time and your space so you can do what you need, process it, do what you need to do, but don't not never come back to it like it was fixed. No, let's stop sweeping stuff under the rug. Y'all know that don't work. That don't work. It don't work. Did I say it don't work? It don't work. We gotta do better. So what does that mean? So tonight's show, Jay wanted it to be light and not deep. So how do you do that? How do you do that? I think it starts with knowing the person that you're in a relationship with. What's their style? What's their flow? How do you get them on an even plane? Are they a jokey joke person? Are they the kind of person, if you talk about sports, so if he's a sports fan, I'm gonna put it in sports vernacular so that he get it. I'm gonna meet him where he is so that he understands that, yeah, babe, I'm trying to communicate with you. I'm trying to, make this thing work. But don't not never come back and let's fix it. You just ignore it. You ignore it. You ignore me. That's not a good setup. That we just gonna do dead air?
No, we're not gonna do dead air because
Ah,
I thought you was in mid thought, so I didn't want to say nothing because you just kind of was like, so I thought you was kind of like,
uh,
um, because normally you say, Coach Jay.
well,
So I was just waiting for my cue. You got to get my, you got to,
uh, Coach Jay.
uh, you old dry tail. Um, yes. So I will say this, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. If you have someone that you cannot open up to, if you have someone that you cannot be real to, um, that's a problem from jump. However, sometimes they have said certain things and you haven't listened. So the question becomes, have I actually listened to what they said? Whether it's man or woman, however you want to put it. We tend to talk and be heard, but sometimes when we're heard, they only hear half of the truth or half of what we said. And sometimes when you, as the listener, only hear half of what they said, you put yourself at a disadvantage. If I told you, if I told you that, okay, so here we go. Let's go back to learning and knowing and being open in communication. If I told you I love peanut butter and jelly, plain Lay's chips, and a glass of 2% milk, that's my go-to snack. That's my late night chill snack. That's my snack. You come with a bologna sandwich, some flaming hot Doritos, and an orange Fago, and say, babe, this is what I got for you. I appreciate what you did, but was that my love language? Thank you for hearing me that at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, or when I get home at 12 a.m. in the morning from work, that that's my midnight snack. But if I said something specific and you do the total opposite, did you listen? Did you hear me? Or did you just do something to say you did it? That's not fair. Meanwhile, while we're talking about having hard conversations, yes, please meet your mate at that point. However, women know how to get their man to flow. And sometimes, not being funny, but being funny, because I said it's not going to be deep. Sometimes, lady, you have to take your big girl drawers on and put that lace and thong on. That's just it. Sometimes you gotta break out the bank and cook that steak dinner. Sometimes you gotta sit with them while they playing the video game. Sometimes you gotta make sure that you present the softer side of you. I think so. I forget, somebody posted something about the softer side today or this week in the group, and that's what, if you are correctly put together with your mate, there's just some things that you can say and do that will woo your mate. There's just some ways that I had a friend that, well, okay, yeah, Dana, I think that was you. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to throw names out there, but I thought that was you. Um, I had my god brother told me. He said when him and his now wife well were dating, he said, man, my girl got this fragrance that she put. I don't know if it was in her hair or if it was a oil or if it was something. And he was like, man, when she put that on, he like, bro, that just, man, just take me to a whole nother place. Thank God he's pastoring now. But anyway, but um, women know how to do that to their men. Men need to learn how to do that for their woman. I believe that if we understand each other's love language and then we dig deep and break it down to our mate specifically, I think that will open up a bigger bag of communication. Is it going to take some work? Yes. Is it easy? No. But if you are rightly, divinely put together with that mate, that is something you're going to have to learn how to do. That's the part of sacrificing and compromising and all that other stuff. If you're really talking about being with that person, you can't be hard, fellas. You can't be hard. You cannot be. I had dated a woman 20 years ago, and she said, the funniest thing, she said, why are you always hard with me? Like, why does everything you have to say and do have to be so all the time? And I had to sit back and think, like, am I really that way? And sometimes, fellas, we are so in our head. Sometimes we're so in our head to the point where she's not your fight. She is not. She is not. I because some stuff was about to come out, and I had to remember that we. So she is not the enemy. If you truly love her and y'all trying to build a show enough true relationship and marriage, she is not your enemy, bruh. Ladies, he is not your baby daddy. He is not that last dude you married. He is not that last dude you crept with. He is not that last dude that hurt and broke your heart. If y'all don't learn how to love each other differently from day one, you will fail day 10. And some of us stay so long in a relationship to the point where it's like, well, I don't want to be by myself, or I don't want to seem like I gave up and threw in a towel too long. Ain't nobody tell you to put a towel in that fight, let alone trying to hold the towel in the fight. Okay, I'm done because I'm getting deep. Go ahead. I'm muting.
Come on, preacher. So I want to go back to a comment and hello to everybody who's joining us. We see you. Hey, Ebony. Hey, Dana. Hey, Ronald. Hey, Miss Waters. Hey, Diamond. Hello, Sherry. Who else? Who else? Hey, Cheryl. Who else? Who else? I see y'all. Hey, Dolores. Thanks for being here. So, I want to go back to something that Ronald said. The real honest truth may break something down that needs to be broken. And that's a very good point because there are some things that you do. Like Jay just said, that person is not your baby daddy, your this, your that.
Wait, hold on. But let me pose this question to you on top of his question. It might have to be broken down. It might need to be said and done. But are you willing to handle the outcome of the conversation that you're about to have? I'm done. I gave that to you. You ain't got to mute your mic. I'm muting mine.
Well, I I think being in that position comes with maturity. I think that comes with time. If you bump your head enough times and you figure out that what I've been doing don't work, I gotta do something different. Or you've been through too many of the wrong relationships and you're like, okay, I'm the least common denominator. Let me take a different approach. Let me do something differently. One of the things that I do know has just been part of my character for years is holding stuff in. Or let me put it this way, holding the wrong stuff in. That just was my life. but I understand where that comes from. I understand exactly where that behavior came from. Unresolved issues from my past. Yep.
I said I wasn't gonna be deep, but you just keep. Let me say this, and I'm done. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. Sometimes the reason why you can't have the hard conversations is because you haven't had the hard conversations with yourself. And when it's time to have a hard conversation with your mate, you're still dealing with self issues that you can't deal with the issues of the relationship. So until you have that hard conversation with self, like Ronald said, some of that stuff that you need to talk about can help in that relationship. You have to learn how to listen to self and be honest with self about where you are and respond truthfully to that hard conversation that you have with yourself before you have that hard conversation with somebody else, because sometimes them hard conversations is somebody looking from standing from the outside looking in, trying to tell you about self, and you already know what self is dealing with, and then we put that wall up because I don't want to hear the truth about me. I already know where I'm at. Well, then you need to deal with that before you try to jump into something else brand new, because all you're going to do is wind up hurting you and that person. Okay. Uh, Okay, I ain't about to be deep no more. Okay, I got gas. My stomach hurt. I felt like I got a fart. Okay, there we go. I had to lighten it up. I really don't, but I just wanted to lighten it up real quick because it was kind of deep. Go ahead.
Please share the broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you being here. I don't know what it is with him and the bodily function. Okay, so one of the things that he said about having the hard conversation. Let's talk about trust. When you have trust issues that you haven't dealt with, it can be hard to have that hard conversation, whether or not, right, Dana, whether or not, right, Ebony, right there, get your brother. Uh,
I don't even want to know what they said. I'm done.
whether or not, whether or not, I lost my train of thought. Whether or not you're gonna be honest with yourself can sometimes depend on what you've dealt with in your past. That really wasn't where I was going, but we gonna bring it around. What you've dealt with in your past. You have to deal with those issues. So if I've had trust issues, for example, I don't know how to, or even if I have unresolved issues, I'm not certain that I can be my most authentic self, my most vulnerable self, and you won't attack me, turn on me, use it against me, or look down upon me when I haven't dealt with like truth for real, when I have truth issues, when I've been vulnerable before somebody else and they took it and they used it against me. So that'll leave up a wall. But like I said, when you done hit the wall, your own wall, too many times, it'll make you want to do something different. And so you got to have the hard conversation, yes, with yourself, but have you chosen a partner that feels the same way? Again, going back to communication. Have y'all had those kinds of conversations? Jay?
So I'm glad you brought him back around to the couples because I want to go back and hit for a relationship. No, you're not. I'm glad that you brought him back around because I want to do this, and let's go with trust issues. The way you combat trust issues is Learning your spouse's, your partner's love language, and then literally every day putting them in front of them, letting them know that this is going to be different because I hear you, and I'm going to catch you. And if you fall, I'm going to be there to support you because I know you love words of affirmation. I know you love acts of service. You know what I'm saying? I know you love gifts. So I'm going to, boom, start giving you, and I'm going to break down. Maybe your gifts isn't big, extravagant gifts. Maybe your gifts is just thoughtful, little small things. Maybe you NDIRE. Maybe you do love the little things. So maybe the words of affirmations might not be, I gotta super encourage, I gotta be Les Brown and Tony Robbins, and I ain't gotta maybe I ain't gotta TD Jakes you every day. But maybe if it's just, you know what, babe, you are simply amazing. That's it. Just amazing. And then you keep going. Or if it's acts of service, you know what? I seen the trash need to be taken out, but I did see that the trash can was dirty too. So I took the trash out. I cleaned the trash can. And when I looked at all the rest of the trash cans, I seen they were different colors. So I just wanted to put matching trash cans in the house. The small stuff. Okay, fellas, if she wants you to put up your underoos, man, put up your underoos. If she wants you to clean up, if she's been talking about you not cleaning up after yourself, then bruh, do the small things that she's been asking. But you
Cause
gotta
ain't
meet.
nobody got no maid round here. Okay, go ahead.
So before I was rudely interrupted, you gotta listen to what she's saying. And the women, you have to listen to what he's saying. If he's not a talker, you knew that when you said I do. If he's not a person that normally opens up, but you have had that person you have had moments where he opened up, then here you go. When he opened up the last time, what happened? What was going on? Recreate that. If he's a sucker for treats in the bed or popcorn and movie night in the bedroom, then do that. But y'all have to learn how to meet each other in the middle, always. No, it's not going to be 50-50. No, it's not going to always be 60-40. It's not going to always be 70-30. But wherever y'all are, y'all need to understand if it's 70-30, I need to make sure that I'm my 70, or I need to make sure I'm my 30. If it's 60, then I need to make sure I'm my 60, and I need to make sure that I'm you my 40. Y'all have to make sure that y'all vibing and going back with each other. But until you really understand your own personal love languages, and like I told them in the master class, and I'll throw this: learn who you are, learn your love language, and be your love language to yourself, so you know how to present it to somebody else. Okay. And you look like you're talking to the people in the group. So, hey, everybody in the group, we thank you for coming. Everybody who tuned in tonight, if you have not shared the broadcast, please share the broadcast. This is a Tisha Marie Johnson broadcast brought to you today by the love of your lifetime, loving you right for better or for worse. Amen. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Hi, my name is Bill. And when I was 42, I used to be a smoker, but I
You
stopped
know what?
smoking because
What
I was
is
waiting for
wrong?
you. I
Well,
was waiting for you. I was trying to give you a commercial break while you talk to me. That's all I
ooh,
was trying to do.
hilarious. Listen, Dana said, "Where are those husbands?" I think those husbands are
Create
created.
just like the women's are in a relationship. When you understand, not created by God. Some are out here. However, everybody knows that you have to fine tune your mate to you to you. Everybody comes in rough around the edges. There's no perfect person. So y'all learn how to compromise and you learn how to, and I don't want to say deal, but compromises. There's always a give and take, and you understand your give and take. And when you understand your give and take, you understand how I need to be towards him because this is where he, and they won't always be there because sometimes there's comes a point where there's a growing up that happens. Okay, yeah, she's been here in my corner for far too long for me to keep acting this way. I need to step my game up because she deserves better. He deserves better. She deserves better. He deserves, so you're just growing and loving with each other. You were really excited to give the answer, huh? Huh? Oh, I swear. Not really excited. I just realized I'll be 41 this year. And I realized I've made a whole lot of mistakes by not being real, but being what people wanted. And it got me married twice, divorced twice. And when I left the last time, I left because I didn't know who I was. I was given, but didn't know what I was given. I was existing and not living. And you come to a point where you want to live. And if you can't live where you are, then what are you doing? Really? Wow. But you you come to the point where you really want to start living and doing the things and being who God created you to be. So you step back and say, how do I get from here to there? And there's some changes you have to do. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard as ever. I tell you that much. But when you endure and go through the process, I believe you'll come out a whole lot better than when you went in. But that's all way off the subject, though. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you have to. You have to realize that you are enough, and you also have to realize that there are some edges that you need to deal with. There's some issues that you still need to face and deal with and handle. And when you realize, okay, there's some cleaning up that I need to do, then you start doing it. That's why I told everybody, you learn who you are. Learn whose you are. Okay, never mind, because I felt the soapbox being built. Go ahead. I had to close my mouth because you know me.
That's good though. You want to thrive and not just merely survive. After a while, and especially when you're younger, you just doing stuff carefree. You just all out here willy nilly,
Yeah,
hoping, wishing, praying it work out right. When you turn 40, it's like, yeah, I done turned that corner. You get to 50, you like, okay, hold up, wait a minute, because I don't know how much more life is ahead of me. And looking behind me, it's like, really, did we just do all of that and then some, and still haven't fulfilled your goals, haven't walked in your purpose really, have given a lot of yourself. And so it stands to reason that after a breakup, you have to take that time to get to know you, to if you got to reinvent you, because the person you been probably was conformed to the person you were in relationship with. So if you never take the time to really get to know who you are, what you like, you've heard me say it before, I challenge people, write down 25 things that you like, not the kids, not the former spouse, 25 things that you like. And then if you haven't done those things or haven't done them in a while, ladies, we will do everybody's stuff. We by the time we get to us, We need a nap. We ready to go to bed and have to get up and start it all over again. But no, you have to learn how not to put you on the back burner. Yes, sir.
I, let me say this. You have to get to know the you now, because when you learn who you are now, you will learn the do's and don'ts of how you got there. And then on top of that, some of it has to be refined and retuned because you have gotten, you have mixed you with your former spouse, and you realize that some of the stuff that you're doing, you're only doing it because you're so used to doing it with your former spouse, but you forgot that you never liked that. You hated it. But now you do it because it's like second nature to you. And just because it's second nature to you, don't mean it's right for you. Don't mean you have to continue to keep doing it. So you have to get back. You have to get back to self. I say this all the time. Used to love the Carmichael show when it was back on. If anybody know Jerry Carmichael, please tell him to put the show back on. But there was an episode where his mother just broke down and said, and it's crazy. Um, she said when she goes to the fast food restaurant, she knows everybody's order at the fast food restaurant except for hers. And she said she would never get herself anything because she would eat what was left over from everybody else's meal. And that's how you basically have been living, and some are still living. You've been living the leftovers from everything else that you've been. So you don't even the crazy thing is you've been eating asparagus for the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years and realize you can't stand asparagus. But since your mate used to love it so much and used to eat it so much and find ways to put it in there because they love it so much, now you do it repetitiously just because it's second nature. You have become a creature of habit. So now you're just doing stuff because you're so used to doing it, not realizing that you really don't like doing it. So for how long are you going to keep doing someone else and never doing you? Do you know who you are? Do you know where you are? Do you know where you're going? Do you have a roadmap of success for your life? Mr. Chapman came out with a very great book. Great book. But have you applied what everybody took the test? Oh, I took the test. We all in the group. Oh, I took the test. I read the book. I took the test. Fine. Let me give you a cut. Have you started following some of that stuff for yourself? Do you encourage yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you protect yourself? Do you encourage do you do these things? Do you give yourself gifts? What acts of service have you done for self? What's your first ready? What's your first three? Have you done them first this week? This is Friday. Have you done your first three love languages for yourself this week? Every day. If you can't say yes, you're probably missing out on some stuff. And if you can't say you've done it at all this week, how is your mate supposed to do it? Nobody care about your Nike collection. Get on my nerves. Everybody around got a Nike collection. He got a whole bunch of them. That's what he loves. Amen. But for him, that's his love. So if you get with Ronald, you can't buy him Converse. You can't buy him Weebox. You can't buy him Oshkosh Bigosh. Because that's not what he loves. I know. I told you I didn't want it to be deep, and I just went deep, so I had to say something funny. My gift, and that's the whole thing. Do you gift you? If you don't gift you, why you want me to do it? You have to give yourself something because you got to show me how to do it. Well, I don't know. Find time to find out if you single. And if you with somebody, let them know, hey, there's some things about me I don't know. Can you help me explore? Or hey, I need a second. I need to explore some things about me because I need you to know me, but I need me to know me so I can show you how the new me is or how the real me is. Okay. Yeah, one slick snake slid down a slippery slough. Yeah, there we go.
That's good. And if you are the person, because I used to be this person, if you're the person, and I still struggle sometimes, if you're the person that's used to giving, but you don't know how to receive, that's so you can't even you can't even call yourself a giver if you don't receive.
Practice. Practice. I don't even know how to receive. I hate receiving gifts. But you thank you. I don't even know who that is. But
Ebony.
they give me all the time. That's fine. But if you can't be real with you and learn to love you, how can anybody else do it?
Okay. So, and I used to wonder if you heard people say it's more blessed to give than to receive. Do you know why? Because the more you give, the more you're gonna get. But usually we stop at, oh well, I don't need much. I've been guilty of it. Just it just can't work that way. That's not how that works. You know, like the lady putting the sticky things on the wall. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. No, you have to, yeah, that was just drop the mic. You have to give to you. If we teach people how to treat us, but you don't know how to treat you, listen, I can easily say for years I was wanting love, but I really wasn't loving myself because there was so much that I wasn't giving and doing for me. There was so much that I was allowing to happen that indicated I wasn't worthy of love. And so if I'm teaching, I love myself so little, and I teach other people to love me so little, but I'm mad at the end of the day, who 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 can change that? You have to change that for yourself. You have to do the things necessary so that you're in a good position, you're in a good space. And listen, ultimately, yes, we are talking about communication. We're talking about men and women learning how to communicate. But it starts with you. If you want to have a different kind of love, if you want to receive the love of your life, you're going to have to start with you. And once you get in the position of loving you and becoming all that you can be and unlearning bad behavior and getting rid of toxic stuff and improving yourself and loving your life, then you're going to attract a different kind of person. It's not going to be the same old Joe. It's not going to be Junebug. It's not going to be Pookie. It's not going to be Ray Ray. You're going to attract a different caliber and quality person. And you have to be open to how it happens. You can't sit in the house all day and think that he's going to. I wrote a book, 21 places to find him. None of those places are at your house. So you got to do something different, but it starts with you. What are you going to do to position yourself? Because it's all about, ladies, it's all about positioning. Now, I'm reading, shout out to Bishop Greg Davis. I'm reading his book. He talks about the story of Ruth and Boaz. And contrary to a lot of the belief, Boaz wasn't looking for her. Ruth positioned herself to be found by him. So, ladies, it's about positioning. What are you walking in your purpose? Are you doing what you were called and created to do? Are you living your best life? Not okay, because see, I know some of y'all educated, you got the house, you got the car, you got the this, you got the that, but you still don't have the love that you've been wanting. So come on, let's have a conversation, because there's something off about that. If love is something you desire, it's not let me see if I can put this right. It's not going to come to you if you're not open to receive it. You got to be open to receive, and you got to be positioned. And so that requires you doing some different things. Now I know some of y'all like, oh my God, I wouldn't do online dating. Well, if you on social media, somebody hit you up in your inbox, you doing online dating. It's just a different form of it. You don't have to go to Plenty of Fools or, somebody's Mingo and, all of that to connect with somebody. It could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be Twitter.
She said Plenty of Fools.
I did. Because, yeah, some of y'all, everything is not for everybody. But certainly as we talk about, and I'm going back to what we was talking about, breaking down that communication barrier and how we fix it. You fix it first by fixing you. You do the work with you, and then you partner with somebody, or if you're open enough to have new love come into your life, or new relationship, new friend, new whatever, then you can say, hey, this is where I am, kind of, trying to make sure, work with me, kind of thing. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, Verlene, thank you for joining us, Sissy. Jay.
I'm still laughing on. Hey, me too. I'm still laughing at Plenty of Fools. I'll say this. Uh, I like the position because you can be at the right place at the wrong time, and you can be at the wrong place at the right time and find the right food. It's all about where you are, and it's all about understanding where you are, and it's all about really developing where you are. It's a bit about, well, what if I'm in a bad place? You're in a learning place. Develop what you need to develop in that learning place. Just because you feel like you've lost something, just because you felt like, well, the last one hurt so much or hurt so bad, learn from where you are. Be honest with yourself. Say, hey, it was my fault. I'm in this because this is my part of why I'm in it. Now let me learn from why I'm here, grow while I'm here, and move forward. It's all about positioning, but what position will you be in? That's my time for the night, people. Y'all been great audience. Peace, love, and hair grease. I'm out.
He is funny.
May his
So
peace be with you until we meet again.
Ronald said, "Are the standards so high that they are unattainable for the man or the woman?" Now, that's a very good question. And thank you for sharing the broadcast. That's a very good question. Sometimes it is a list that is unattainable. He like dropped the mic and left for real. Uh, it sometimes it is unattainable. Sometimes it is unrealistic. Sometimes you're asking for something that you quite honestly don't even have yourself. You bet.
I don't know.
So, you really have to take a look at what it is you desire. Now, Ronald and I don't quite agree on this one particular thought. I think should have a list. Now, he can explain himself in the comments if he likes. I think you should have a list because I think you need to know the list doesn't have to be this hard, fast, oh, he has to have, but you do need to understand what it is that you desire, what you want, what you can and cannot deal with. You got to have a foundation of something. And you can't be focused on what you had before, especially if it didn't work. If it wasn't what you wanted, and that's all that's going on in your head, you got to start somewhere. So I say have a list, but be open to know that there are going to be some things that you don't know that you need, and you want the Most High to give you what you don't know that you need. You want him to position you with somebody who has what you always desired. Might not be on your list, but you got to be open to receive that. And it's a beautiful thing when you're open to receive God's best for your life. If you understand what I'm saying, especially when you've been through a hard thing or two, or three or four or 10, it 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 can it can bruise you, it can wound you. But this, I will believe this to the day y'all say goodbye to me, that there is the possibility for love, that you can, no matter how hurt you've been in your past, you can heal from that and you can move forward. Listen, toxic relationship, abusive relationship, that's not God's best for your life. Should everybody be married? Absolutely not. Everybody is not marriage minded material. Marriage is ministry. Listen, you gonna work. If you want the marriage to work, you're going to work. So is marriage for everybody? No, everybody doesn't want to do that level of work. But be honest with you. Be honest with yourself. Now, I don't have the gift of singleness, so that ain't for me. Hello, somebody. But I'm honest with myself, but that doesn't make me position myself and be desperate. Uh, no, because if it, yeah, no. So you got to know what you want, and you definitely have to have a foundation to stand on. You have to, I call it a list, you can call it what you want to, standards, expectations, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, know what you want in somebody else. You need to be yourself. And if you want someone who communicates effectively, you got to be willing to communicate effectively yourself. I'm just saying. Jay, you got anything before we close out?
Nah, I ain't got nothing. You said what I was about to say. Because if you want, look, they always talking about the woman who want the man with the six figures and this and that and this and that, and she talking about, do you want fries with that? Hey, if you want what you want, be what you want to yourself, because that's the only way you're gonna get it. Because that's what you're going to attract. That's it. I'll say this in my closing, and that's it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. The success of your life rises and falls on the decisions that you make and or don't make. Because when you don't make a decision, that's still a decision. So make the right decision.
Keep on moving. So
Somebody pray for me.
we go, we're gonna take this discussion back into the group. If you have not joined the group, I don't know what you're waiting on.
What you
We
waiting
have
for?
a great time. Connect with one of us or go to bit.ly/lover in you group. You'll be connected. Make sure you answer the questions. And listen, don't come over there if you messy, you ain't got a life, you bitter, you mad, you disgusted, you busted. We don't do them shenanigans because you will get escorted out of the group with quickness. We can have, like I started talking about the conversation today. It was a hard conversation, and I got threw up under the bus several times. However, we can have those kinds of discussion, and I know, shout out, I one of the fellas is on tonight. I saw him join, but it's all good. If at the end of the day, you got to drink your strong medicine. Listen, my mama used to give me Father John's. I hate it. I hated that stuff. But guess what? There's been some stuff I've had since then that's worse than Father John's. But I used to have to take Father John's. It was not good, but it was good for me. So you can have the hard conversation. It might not feel good, but as long as we go to a productive end, can we can even agree to disagree, but let's let's what? See, wait. What we're not gonna do is what you trying to say, Ronald? I'm a handful. I'm not. Sorry. Anyway, oh, for real, Jay. See, this is throw Tisha under the bus day. It's all right. I can take it. I'm like Time Max, but you'll get that later. So listen, join our group. It's a great conversation. Always, we have the lovey-dovey stuff, the woo-woo stuff. We got all of that. And then we had the hard stuff and everything in between. We got the petty stuff that happens as well, like the love that chicken from Popeyes. You got to be a part of the group to know. But he said 2 hands full and a vat of oil. Listen, let's talk about the oil now. Come on, don't open up on the oil. Get you some. See, you don't even know what that is. Get you some of the oil. The oil runs from the head to the hem. Ha, lay, ha, lay. Yeah, but I'll be that in the words of the rapper. Whatever, Jay. But no, we would love to have you a part of the group. Interesting conversation always. And just really good people. Though they threw me under the bus. I really do love them guys. They are just like the bomb. Yeah, yeah. We have a great group of people. So I'm really enjoying our community. We are looking to increase it and expand it and do some great and awesome things when the world get off punishment. We're gonna do, some live events, and we're gonna do some live events across the country. So stay tuned for that. I have been commissioned to lead the state of Michigan, the great state of Michigan, real soon. So I, look for me somewhere else, broadcasting live. Well, I don't even know if I can broadcast live, but I was told I better do something for my birthday. And so I'm gonna do something for me for my birthday. And it takes having those kind of people in your life to tap you on the shoulder when you need it. So I appreciate you all of you all that are in For the Lover in You. I appreciate you. Love you guys to the moon and back. Join the group, be a part of the conversation. We are gonna be with our VIP folks next week, so we can't wait to finish our master class. It's going to be incredible, and we have some upcoming things coming out real soon, so I'm super excited about that as well. And always a great joy and pain like sunshine. No, it's always a great joy to be with the man himself, Coach J Hart. Don't go off camera now. I appreciate this dude. Y'all see us having fun. That's how it is off camera. Never a dull moment with him. But it's all good. So we look forward to seeing you next week. Join us next week. Same place, same time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be back live very, very soon. So have a great and awesome night. We'll be connecting soon for the Boom Boom Room in a couple weeks. So stay tuned for that as well. So love you guys. Have a great night.